What up, friends? Geoff Feinberg back here with you, giving another edition of this week's picks for the PGA Tour, the Memorial Tournament, Jack's Place in Ohio, one of the landmark events on the PGA Tour calendar. I am here going to share with you my props picks for this week for oddschecker.com/US. Don't forget to check out my outright picks video already posted. I gave 4 outright picks. We're going farther up the props card this week because I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty invested into those 4 outrights. 4 outrights between 22 and 35 to 1 for me. I've pushed it in. I'm pushing chips into the middle this week. Sad, you can't really say confident about, picking one out of like 140, 125 golfers to win an event, but I like those 4 picks, and I think I sold them pretty good. I mean, I'm betting them, so hey, if they lose, I lose. I'm losing with you, I guess, if the picks don't come in. I ain't just doing it for show. Real deal here as well. Skin in the game. They're getting a lot of my skin at the moment. We'll fix that. We went to the props card, some long distance T20s for us this week. We're going to start it off. We'll start it off. Gary Woodland, a little shorter up the card, friends, on the top 20 market. Resorts Casino has Gary Woodland at plus 250 for this T20 when using that odds checker grid. We find it as low as plus 175. So you better believe we're going to take advantage of that plus 250. Gary Woodland, 6th at the Valero from TPC San Antonio. 5th at the Wells Fargo, 14th at the Colonial. Lots of great signs in Gary Woodland's game, and I can't ignore the PGA Championship. I don't really want to register where he finished, but he got within 2 strokes of that lead multiple times, even deep onto Saturday, and he just wilted backwards a few times. Kiowa was tough unless you were one of a couple that, hit that 5 under mark. 3 players did. Phil obviously getting it to 6. But Woodland's game showed some very strong signs at the PGA Championship. Even to sniff it at a course like that shows your game is in a right place. And full disclosure, we got some super big Woodland US Open futures. And I don't know, maybe before I put my head to the pillow tonight, I'm going to have to just put a small smidgen on Woodland to win that US Open to win this week, because we've been betting him a lot and we have to maybe protect our US Open bet. That's how crazy I am. But hey, I'm here with you. Woodland plus 250 on that T20 at the moment. Now we're going deep, friends. Now we're going to take it deep. Aaron Wise, Nicklaus courses seem to be right up his forte, considering the fact that he also brings in some very quality form at the moment, friends. Aaron Wise using that odds checker grid, plus 450 at Resorts Casino as well. Plus 335 is the low end mark. So we're going to take that extra 0.15 on Aaron Wise to get us this T20 this week. Tops 20 at the PGA Championship, where he finished 17th. 9th at Wells Fargo. 9th at Wells Fargo, which is a comparable tree line classical golf course, in my opinion. And he had an early lead at Honda. I want to say back-to-back 65s or 64s at the Honda Nicklaus course. Really emphasizes approach play. Something I probably should have said at the top of this video, but if you watch the outright picks video, I shouldn't have had to repeat myself. If you followed any PGA Tour content across the board this week, approach play is absolutely paramount at the Memorial. Approach play and around the green, the ability to scramble. Those are the 2 key factors, but approach play really might even outweigh that around the green factor. Again, when you take the approach numbers of the past Memorial winners, recent Memorial winners, it's an average strokes gain approach of nearly 6.5 strokes. You have got to have that in your bag, or you've got no chance, even when it comes time to scramble. And Aaron Wise's approach has been quite strong. Approach play courses seems to be where he has had some success. As well, his debutante trip to Firestone, where we no longer play, but up the road in Ohio, a lot of similarities, many would say. I believe there's a 6th place finish there. Let's move off Aaron Wise. We got him. My partner in crime, Pat Mayo, is pounding the desk for Kyle Stanley. The moment Kyle Stanley got in the field this week, I was being sold the Kyle Stanley goods. And tell you what, you stare down those numbers, there is a ton to like. 8th at Colonial, 26th at Wells Fargo, but he still can't putt. He led the field in strokes gained approach last time around, and he was 66th in putting, I want to say, at the Colonial to finish in 8th place. The approach game is on point. He's got a nice little track record here. All signs point to Kyle Stanley. I don't have the balls to pick Kyle Stanley to win this thing, but sort of like Mav McNeely last week, we're going to cash this top 20 play, plus 450 when using that odds checker grid. It is as low as plus 350 when looking at the comparables around there. So we're going to take full advantage of Kyle Stanley and his approach play this week. If you can bring that approach play to Memorial, you could 2-putt for par a lot, and you'll get us this T20. Just don't go nut low with the putter, and Kyle Stanley will line your pockets. I do expect him to be an incredibly popular games player this week, your DFS player. There's no secret about those approach stats at the moment for Kyle Stanley. And at the short price, he's the perfect DFS player. But I would assume ownership is going to be huge, relatively speaking, for a player in that tier. We're going to move along a little farther, and we're going to move back even farther. This one, I don't know, this one might be coming just straight from the heart. Denny Willett, plus 800 to get us this T20 this week. Willett's game's slowly coming around to some consistency at the moment. He has a nice 2 appearances at Memorial. It is a course that suits him. He has spoken about it before. Difficult, classical tree-lined golf course works for Denny Willett. He was right in the mix of it last year. I think he finished outside the T20. So I could imagine, like, if you had a T20 on Willett last year, I believe he went off in like one of the final groups on the weekend and completely bottomed out. There was probably nobody in the top who finished in the top 25 who had a worse Sunday score than Willett last year. But I'm going to read more into what he did in incredibly tough conditions for 3 of those 4 rounds on an incredibly tough golf course that I do believe will play a little bit easier this year. Spoke about it also on the yesterday's show for a multitude of reasons, but they did a major redesign, and with that comes some questions. They're not sure how far they need to push it. They use, when courses, classic courses like a Memorial, that are staples on tour, go through an extensive change, they really do encourage tons of feedback from the players this week. After every round, Jack will be going around to the players he trusts, asking for feedback on the setups, on things that they can do. They did a huge renovation, and then I'm sure they're going to have to probably make some minor adjustments when this week is done to get this place exactly how Jack sees it. But if you watched any of the behind-the-scenes footage on the renovation, it's great to see Jack. He takes so much pride in this place. It'll be great to see him on the broadcast this weekend, talking golf, talking milkshakes, talking everything. Probably won't be talking Brooks and Bryson, though. Safe to say. And I don't think they brought that up on last week's broadcast. So for everybody who's like, Brooks and Bryson, including myself, how much air does it have? Well, the main broadcast partners of the tour don't even want to acknowledge it. And in my opinion, it is so big, arguably you could debate its importance, but I would argue it's important to the big picture of golf that I don't think it's unbecoming of, say, asking a Charlie Hoffman, who just cards like an amazing 8-under round. You have an interview with Charlie Hoffman, you show him all his highlights, you get him to talk through a thing or two on the course, and then before he walks away, you hit him with his thoughts on it. That's it. I don't think that's too much to ask. Obviously, the tour does. They don't seem to want to put any air into it. On that note, I don't need them manufactured in a pairing together ever. I just want it to happen naturally on the weekend. Close conversation. We're done here. Oh, I got one more thing for you. How could I forget? I can't not do it. I can't not do it. My friends at Will Hill, I don't even get anything for this. I just make a bet and I lose a bet. Victor Hovland's playing this week. We're not betting Victor Hovland at 18-1 to win the Memorial Tournament, although Victor Hovland winning the Memorial Tournament would fit perfectly in line with the breakthrough wins of the Memorial Tournament in its history, be it Bryson, be it Cantley, be it Hideki Matsuyama. A consortium of some of the great players in the game today had a breakthrough win. Their biggest win at the time of the win was the Memorial Tournament. If it happens to be Victor Hovland this week, nobody is surprised, certainly not me. If it does happen to be Victor Hovland, I guess you could see my arms are crossed nervously because we're not betting Hovland, and we've bet a lot of money on Hovland, but we're not avoiding Hovland entirely. We're going back to it. Victor Hovland to win by a field goal or more, 50-1, Will Hill. They're offering boosts right now, so mine got up to 58. I assume you would have the same boost as I did when I tried to put in that bet. So I've played it at 58-1 with a Will Hill boost. Victor Hovland, if he wins, it's going to be huge. If he wins, it will not be by a stroke. I absolutely promise you that. Better not be by 2, though. I'm Geoff Feinberg. Thanks so much, oddschecker.com/US. You sub to this page so all those great Odds Checker videos can drop right into your feed, including mine. Like this video and leave a comment. Tell me which prop, which outright of mine you love or hate, and tell me who you've got this week at the Memorial. I'll be back next week to talk about what should have been a Canadian Open 20 minutes from me, but yeah, that's not open. That's not possible. So they've moved that event to South Carolina, and we got Torrey Pines coming up. Golf season, summertime, it is not ending. We are just beginning here with all the fun at oddschecker.com/US. I'm Geoff Feinberg. I'll be back next week. Let's catch something.